So this article I just sent you, do you see it?
Phil Mickelson. Do you want me to start reading it?
Yeah, share it up on the screen and read it.
All right, I'll share it. Hold on. Okay, let's bring it up. Okay. Phil Mickelson's long history of misconduct. Let's get rid of this window. Interviews with 19 sources reveal 2 incidents of lewd language and unwanted advances, and the behavior that led to his departure from 2 additional golf clubs. So Phil Mickelson's been a bad boy. Phil Mickelson and Pat Perez have known each other since they were kids. The San Diego natives were never close friends, but shared a mutual respect and long history. So it did not seem unusual that Mickelson made an effort to get to know Perez's wife, Ashley, after they married in 2014, when she was 27 and Pat was 38. All right, I'm going to stop here and say being friendly to someone's wife that's your friend is not unusual. Quote unquote, getting to know their wife is probably a little unusual, in my opinion, but that's just my perspective.
Well, okay, so we're friends with Brandon, right? We're
Right,
both really good friends with Brandon, and he's coming
right,
to stay at our house. And
right.
like I would be really friendly with him. I would like go out and do something with him without you, especially whenever he's going to be here because you'll be working during the day. But like, um, you wouldn't be worried because Brandon would never act inappropriate with. He would never act inappropriately ever.
Well, we hope not.
He wouldn't. No, he wouldn't. We hope not. You're a dick. Shut up. Anyway, the wife, she's drop dead gorgeous, and her picture is going to be on here. And I can understand like somebody finding her attractive, but like I don't know. This guy just doesn't know how to control himself. Like, keep reading because this is
Right.
gross. And this is just an example. So it's not like this is the accusation against him. This is an example of his bad behavior, not the totality of it.
The interactions began innocently enough, with Phil texting Ashley under the guise of friendship. Mind you, he's 11 years older than her, too, which is also kind of weird. Um, as she told me in a recent interview, I was so young and innocent. I'm just this girl from Oklahoma. And it's like, I can't believe Phil Mickelson wants to be my buddy. And he's sending me good morning texts. Looking back now, it definitely feels like I was being groomed. Okay.
I would have been like, this guy's being creepy. Like,
Yeah. No
do
way.
you remember when we started dating and I went on a date with another guy like the day before you and I met? And he
Yes.
was a pilot,
Yes.
and I told him I wasn't interested because that date with this guy was one of the worst dates I ever went on in my life.
Right.
All he did was talk about how amazing and hot his ex that he just broke up with. And I'd been divorced at that point, and I was like, dude's just not ready.
That's a good thing to talk about on a first date with somebody.
But I
Yeah.
also wasn't interested. And I was like, he's not ready to date people because he's still clearly hung up on this woman. And then he wouldn't leave me alone. I wouldn't respond to him. And this went on, I don't know if you remember, for like 6 to 8 months. He's
Yeah.
messaging me, texting me all the time. Good morning. How are you? I'm thinking about you. And I'm just like, dude, clearly on the date, it was obvious he was not interested. And he was very much still interested in his ex. And he's doing this. Like, I mean, it's weird. So if somebody's sending you a good morning text, like,
If a man that's 11 years older than you and you're married is sending you a good morning text, that is not appropriate, in my opinion.
it's weird. It's not like they're like coworkers or something. Like,
Now, I will say,
it's not
if
like it's
you,
his work wife, you know?
well, even that can be kind of weird, but I will say, like, say that when he was single and she was single, they were friends, and then she gets married and he continues to be her friend, that's less weird. But if it's his male friend's wife and he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna start texting my friend's wife in the morning," no, no, that's not. That's as a man, I can tell you there are some nefarious intentions behind that.
I don't even know if like she I don't even know if this gets into it. I don't think she was telling her husband he's texting me good morning in the morning, because the husband would have probably known, like, this dude's not being okay. She just didn't think anything
Yeah.
of it.
Well, and like I said, I could see a woman who's maybe more innocent or hasn't dealt with
Scroll
how.
down a little bit so you can see her.
Is that her right there?
That's her.
Oh, wow.
Right. She's freaking gorgeous.
Ashley Perez.
Really pretty. But she's going to get into what he did.
All
And
right.
it's freaking gross. I mean, it's akin to what one of our mutual friends did to me in New Orleans.
All right. So the 2015 Barclays tournament was played at Plainfield Country Club in Edison, New Jersey. Mickelson stayed nearby in a villa at Liberty National Golf Course where he was a member. The Perez's were at a sushi restaurant when Mickelson called Ashley, not Pat, to say that he had arranged for them to move to his expansive villa. The Perez's gathered their belongings and headed to Liberty National. That night, Pat and Ashley stayed up drinking red wine with Phil on the patio of his villa, enjoying the view of the Statue of Liberty and the twinkling lights of Manhattan. When Pat excused himself to use the restroom, Ashley says Mickelson took out his phone and showed her a full body picture of himself naked with an erection while flexing one bicep. That's a good move. That works every time.
And the husband was in the other room. That's why I'm saying it was like whenever that dude made a pass at me when he was staying at our Airbnb with us when you were like passed out drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's typical guy behavior. But that guy made a pass, but he didn't show you a picture of him flexing one bicep with an erection, because
no, but he also was touching me inappropriately.
had he done that, you definitely would have slept with him, because that move works every single time.
I know, like, on what planet has like a guy ever like whipped it out and the lady was like, I'm going for it. I have to go for it.
I've never tried that. I do know people who have tried things like that, and I think the idea is that like it only has to work out like a couple times for it to be worth it, but that's just not my style. So anyway, Phil says to me, I'm going to leave my bedroom door open tonight. When Pat falls asleep, I want you to come see me. All right, that's really gross. And that's Ashley. She's the very nice lady who had to see Phil Mickelson's erection in person. She demurred and did not say anything to her husband when he returned from the restroom. We were staying next door to Phil, she says, and Pat still had to play in the tournament. I didn't want it to get messy. She told Pat about the photo at the conclusion of the tournament. He did not confront Mickelson directly, but over time, Pat told so many folks about what had allegedly happened, and they in turn told so many other people that Mickelson's genitals became an urban legend on tour. Mickelson ultimately apologized to Pat during a corporate outing at the Madison Club in La Quinta, California. And then the ugliness spilled into public view in November 2022 when Pat went on Claude Harmon's podcast and said, I have a different hate for Phil than most people, and people won't know the story. I'm not going to go into the story again, but Phil crossed the line with me, and that is just uncrossable and unforgivable. He knows that he screwed up. He apologized for the action, but I cannot forgive him for it. When those comments went viral, Mickelson called Pat to apologize once more. Ashley still has a recording of the call and allowed me to listen to it.
You don't have to keep reading. The rest of this is going to read about like other instances. He's been kicked out of like multiple country clubs. Some people are like comparing him to Tiger Woods, which I don't think is fair. Like, sure, Tiger Woods was like a bad husband, a bad boyfriend or whatever. But I'm not that I know of. He wasn't known as like just like a pervert.
No. I think he cheated, but that's like consensual, right? Like it's more like there was a quarterback who got in trouble for getting massages and then like whipping it out during the massage and like trying to get the women to like give him a happy ending.
Ew.
Yeah, like that's more in line with what sounds like Phil Mickelson's been doing.
Ew. All right, so that's Phil Mickelson.